Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your November 2021 reading. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for a more well-rounded perspective. And if you're interested in something that's specific to you and your situation, feel free to check out my description box below for links to my website. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We are ending and leaving the month of October with the Strength card, and I feel that this is really high with the vibration of positivity and a sense of self. There has been a connection that you have come to, or a sense of self-awareness that you've come to that has really allowed you to tap into some form of your inner strength. You're no longer battling or struggling with this, but you are actually kind of merging with this. You are becoming one with this. Whatever this is, you've recognized something, you've seen something that you may have previously been in some internal struggles with. You've seen it as a part of yourself that you can actually utilize as a strength and not a weakness, not as something that should haunt you, not as something that should drag you down, but something that makes you stronger, something that lifts you up, something that makes you more whole. Whatever it is, there's a sense of self-strength that is coming through, and it's got some really good high vibrations, a very high note to be beginning this particular reading on, to be ending the month of October and beginning the month of November with. As we move through the month of into the month of November, we are tapping into a Nine of Swords card here, and I feel like this is creating some shifts and creating some change that's going to result in a bit of a separation with connections that you have, specific people. It's going to become an area of friction within the relationship, because when we embrace a portion of ourselves to this degree, it can be unsettling for some people that we know, or it can create a subtle shift in us that is something that another person might not attribute to us. And I feel like one of the reasons why this is being presented in the Knight of Swords is because the Knight of Swords usually has to do with the traditional image is someone sitting up in bed, covering their face as if they were crying or weeping, and the swords are presented behind them. So it's something that is usually tapped or connected with the concept of worry or fretting. And so I feel like the reason why this disconnect or discord is being brought forth in the representation of the Nine of Swords is because I feel like the ripple effect of you embracing yourself and really kind of merging with this sense of self and revelation that you've experienced, and how it might create a disconnect with people that you feel very close with in the relationship and connection you have with it, that disruption in the relationship is going to weigh heavy on your mind and heart. It's something that is going to pain you because of the ripple effect and what that means as far as how this person sees you, how this person will continue to interact with you, and how this person may even consider the relationship and connection with you. And it bothers you because of the connection and relationship you have with this person. And I feel like it's going to make the high vibration of that a strength card that I was getting at the very beginning about how things are coming together, and there's emergence of what was and what is, and how this thing that used to haunt you and was in your shadows is now part of you and is your strength. And there was just high vibe and high energy and just this feeling of wholesomeness that was coming through. There's going to be a point where I feel like you're going to feel a bit of a dampening in that high energy, because this person is not as excited, they're not celebrating with you, and they may even come across as feeling threatened by this perception that you have and this new sense of self-worth that you have. And because you're so close to this person, because of your connection with this person, it's going to hurt just a little bit. Maybe even a little more than a little bit. It feels like it dampens your spirits a little bit. It doesn't make you question whether or not you regret. I feel like you still maintain that this understanding of self and self-acceptance that you've experienced is not going to be shifted in any way. You're not going to regret it. You're not going to toss it aside. You're not going to change your mind. You're not going to revert back, because it is so wholesome, and it has created such a feeling of being whole that you can't imagine ever going back. But there's some of the high vibes that I got is dampened by the realization that people that you perceive to be close and who wants the best for you are going to come forward and show themselves as not necessarily always wanting all things for the best of you. And that's going to kind of dampen the high vibes just a little bit. We are following this with the priest card. This usually has a connection with the sense of connecting with someone who can help you and mentor you. And I feel like this is letting you know that while you're going through this, if it dampers your spirit a little too much and you start to feel like you need closure, or you feel like you need direction, or you feel like you need guidance, you feel like you have reached a point where you need external conversation and mentorship, go with that feeling and seek that out. Whatever or whoever that manifests, and whoever that is, I feel is going to be contingent on the relationship that this particular person is. So, for example, if it's a spouse or a lover, some of you are in a long-term committed relationship, this might mean couple counseling. If it's a spiritual thing, you might need to go to the spiritual mentor within your spirituality, within your religion, or whatever it is that you observe. It can be just, going in meditation and prayer and connecting with spirits. It can be going to friends. You are the one who has to decide what that relates to you and your specific circumstance. But essentially, when you get to the point where you feel like you need an outsider's perspective on how to move forward and how to, sort of work through all of this, take that as a message or a hint from spirit to follow through. That's an intuitive message that yes, you do, and you should be seeking outside mentorship, and then apply that however it needs to apply to you in your specific situation. Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. I feel like no matter what, you're on the road to something bigger, and this can mean any sort of thing. It just depends on who you are, where you're at in your life, what this applies to. So it can be, just you on a personal level, and your self-worth and self-confidence. It can be a spiritual thing. It can be a career thing. But there's just, things are sort of coming together with a sense of wholeness that it makes you feel confident enough that you are able to seek out and embrace things that you wouldn't have had you not embraced this aspect of yourself. So it's opening up possibilities that you would never have even considered. It's creating more doorways for you to walk through, because you're looking for those doorways now. You are so confident in who you are as a result of whatever transpired and how you ended the month of October. It has given you such a sense of self-worth that you feel like you can actually go and seek for things that you may not have felt quite as confident, or you may not have thought as possible prior to this. So I feel like overall, despite some potential hiccups and maybe even a little bit of heartache as a result of this, overall there's more to come, and it's just a sense of, like I said, there's just a wholesome sense of self-worth that's coming as a result of this, and where it's going to take you because you feel this way about yourself. It's something that you haven't even understood quite yet, but the more you choose yourself, the more you will recognize this and the more you will see it. But essentially, there's possibilities that are being open to you simply because you believe in yourself now. All right, that is all I have for you. I hope this reading has been everything that you were hoping for and more. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a well-rounded perspective. And if you would like something that is specific to you and your needs, feel free to go ahead and check out the description box below for links to my websites. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful month, and we will see you in the next video.